This is the 2020 TVS Apache RR310. We already had a blast riding it on the racetrack, and now it's proving to be just as impressive here on the road. As we already know, this makes the same power and torque as the previous model, with the introduction now of the ride-by-wire technology by TVS to meet the emission restrictions. But the weight has gone up by 5 kgs thanks to the CatCon. What has also changed is the way this delivers this power, because now you get 4 riding modes, and I for one absolutely love how the engine comes alive in the sport and the track mode. And with the stickier Michelin road pipes to bank on, you have all the confidence to get the most of every single pony. The improved traction also means you have solid stopping power, which was lacking on the previous model. So TVS has been listening very closely to our feedback, because this one also gets a slipper clutch, which was introduced on the previous iteration, which allows you to really go down the gears really hard with the slipper clutch keeping the rear in line. The gearbox though is not the slickest, and also now with the additional grip that you have, you also need rear sets because you end up carrying a lot more speed into corners, setting these guards alive. But these do come handy when you drop the pace and want to take in the scenery. The ergonomics are spot on. I mean, there's plenty of room for you to scoot all the way back. The suspension is better still. It gives you all the support that you require when you are tackling corners, but at the same time, they're supple and pliant enough on the broken roads because of the revised damping. The windscreen too. So when you're sitting upright, it diverts all the wind onto your shoulders rather than your head, which reduces buffeting when you're cruising on the highways. The seat too, for that matter. The rider's seat is well padded and remains ache-free for a good 250 odd kilometers. But that's the thing, anything over, and then you're entering a territory which the RR310 wasn't really built for. Not with its 11-litre tank or the absence of a proper grab rail to support your pillion or to mount your luggage for long stints. I mean, sure, I could eke out a fuel economy of 32 kilometers per litre on the highway, riding in the rain mode sedately at a constant 100 kilometers per hour. But long rides will still leave your fingers and toes buzzing, despite all the strides that TVS have made on the refinement front to reduce the vibes that plagued the previous model. The RR310 was built for the racetrack. It is an absolute delight for the short power sprints. And surprisingly, it also manages to spice up your commutes rather well. The previous model already checked all the right boxes to conquer the urban jungle, with its highest in class 180 mm ground clearance, short 810 mm seat height, light clutch, and the leverage provided by the wide clip-ons to cut through traffic. Where it struggled was heat management, because the old RR310 would heat up a lot. I mean, the engine temperature would normally hover around the 100-degree mark, shooting up as high as 107 degrees in chock-a-block traffic. And even when you would get moving, it would still not cool down immediately. It would take a while. But I'm happy to report that is history now, because the new RR310 handles heat far better, because now the coolant temperature is normally around the 90-degree mark, and it also cools down very, very quickly as soon as you get moving. And if you do get stuck, the one thing that you'll admire is also most of the heat is diverted away from your leg. So that's really good. And that is also the time when you would really appreciate TVS's glide through technology, which prevents the bike from stalling and keeps chugging along just by modulating the clutch with zero input on the throttle. The question that remains is, does this justify its 12,000 rupee price hike? If you ask me, absolutely. I mean, this is definitely the best motorcycle to come out of TVS's stable, right? And it has improved with every single iteration. It is also the most beautiful fed motorcycle to be ever made by an Indian manufacturer. And then when you add the Michelin tires, the TFT dash and all of this technology, the RR310 then starts coming together as one of the most holistic, the most well-rounded packages in this segment, and therefore justifying its 2.45 lakh price tag. And I'm not even talking about all the features offered by the X-Connect app, which allow you to connect your smartphone to your bike so you can gain access to all sorts of data like your race telemetry, you can plan your rides, you have turn-by-turn navigation. And I'm not talking about them because I could not get the app to work. But that's what I'm talking about, right? If TVS can iron out all of these bugs, if they can figure out a way to dampen out the vibes on the handlebar and the pegs even more and make the gearbox as slick as the way this looks, I think you have the makings of a motorcycle which pretty much offers it all. Performance, style and versatility while still being priced very competitively.